And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hoosiers Lax TV. Today we have an excellent matchup in IU's home opener against Miami, Ohio. It's a beautiful, well, not a beautiful Saturday afternoon, a little dreary here in Bloomington, but not too cold, mid-50s. But we have a great game in store. I'm Nick Abel for Hoosiers Lax TV. And the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers look to stay undefeated against the Miami, Ohio Redhawks. Miami, Ohio, in their last game, when they traveled up to Michigan, suffered a 16-2 defeat against Grand Valley State, who's one of those talented teams in the MCLA. And today, it's the first conference match for both of these sides in the upper Midwest region of the MCLA. And for Indiana, they're looking to build off of their hot streak in Pittsburgh, where they went 2-0 last weekend. And hopefully for the Hoosiers, they can win with a little bit more leeway, as it took not 4 quarters, but overtime to get the job done against a very tough Pittsburgh team. Steve Krumzik, the sophomore, was the final goal scorer in that one, 13-12 in overtime. We got some extra lacrosse, but we have more lacrosse today. And notable sides for IU, they are missing the Warrior Lax Division I MCLA Player of the Week from last week, Carson Fry. So no number 10 today. He had 13 goals in 2 games last week. So the Hoosiers will be without their notable goal scorer from last weekend, and also they will be without Colin Callahan, who was injured against Buffalo in Pittsburgh. He is going to be out for the long term with that left leg injury. So it'll be heavily relied on Grant Hawkins and Krumzik on the offensive side of the field as we get ready for the opening face-off here in Bloomington. IU in white, Miami in red. Dexheimer to step up for the Hoosiers. And Dexheimer wins the first face-off. He's been excellent this year, working at a 65% clip from the face-off circle. He's won 63 now face-offs through 5 games. And so the Hoosiers will start with the ball on offense. And it will be the game winner, Steve Krumzik, who works it at the top. Over to new addition to the squad, but a familiar face to those who watched last year, Jake Trumbull, number 1. And now Logan Gels takes a shot that goes just wide. Trumbull, in his first game of the year, looking to fill some of that holes that's created by the lack of guys. And that's Gels on the backside, finishing one off early. The freshman has been really outstanding in the early parts of this season and scores the first goal of the afternoon. So IU goes up early, getting their offense going quickly. That was just excellent ball movement from the Hoosiers, working it around the cage, and Gels was right on the backside. All he had to do was finish off the play. So we'll get another face-off here. IU with the early start. Coach Balick always preaches possession, and the Hoosiers have it once more. 2 quick face-off wins for Finn Dexheimer. But he forced all the way back to his defense, and Connell Barton now looking to clear. Takes it over the midline. And IU will work on offense once more. So just 2 minutes into this game, the Hoosiers have already set their presence with 1 goal, and now another opportunity on offense to get another. Gels, the lone goal scorer, moves it to X. And then finds a man right in the middle, and that's Steve Krumzik. who buries. 2-0 quick for the Hoosiers. Just how they wanted to start here on their home opener. So Gell's already with a goal and an assist. A great find to a cutting Steve Krumzik, who finished off the play with some expertise there. So Miami, Ohio needs to win a face-off, or this could get ugly early, as 2 quick goals in under 2 minutes. And Dexheimer 3-0 on the day from the circle. The Hoosiers with their 3rd straight possession. Krumzik, who finished the last goal off, awaits his middies. Hoosiers just working it around. Gels finds Krumzik. Now they look downhill. Richie Fleming moving down the left alley, hoping for a screen. Spins back towards the middle. Finds a man inside Krumzik, but he can't quite corral the pass. Comes back out to Gels in the middle. A second for Logan Gels. Number 2 with 2 early. The freshman adding on to the already increasing lead for Indiana. 3-0 quick. So Logan Gels contributing to all 3 of the goals early in this home opener for Indiana. And Dexheimer also proving to be a huge part of this game, 3-0 from the face-off circle. Miami, Ohio is having a tough time getting it going. They finally win a face-off, but then can't get possession. So here comes a ground ball. Comes back to Indiana, and Dexheimer just launches a shot way wide, but Hawkins, the senior attacker, was behind the cage and will work from X, as he was the closest. Finds back Steve Krumzik, the sophomore. And Jake Trumbull, the new addition to this squad, filling in for the injured Callahan and the missing Carson Fry. And now Fleming, who started that last possession, will shoot and score. A ground ball shot makes it 4-0. IU is firing on all cylinders in this first quarter. 4 goals in under 4 minutes with no signs of slowing down. And so they're going to give Dexheimer a quick break from the dot. Face-off won by Brandon Kim. And then a ground ball ensues. IU picks it up. Moving it back to the agile Patrick Kenny in net. And then over to Barton, who looks to clear, gets it away, and over the end line. And so IU, once again, will work on offense. Miami, Ohio has 0 answers for the Hoosiers right now. Indiana has had their way in this game. Miami, Ohio has not had possession once, unable to win a single face-off in the early goings here. And now Krumzik using the screen from Trumbull. Diving down. Moves it to senior Grant Hawkins, one of the leading point scorers on this team. And then to Jake Trumbull. The big attacker cuts in, finds Hawkins, who rips it high and wide. Out of play. Indiana was closer. Gels will start with it. Steve Krumzik working from X, spinning. Finds a man up top in Trumbull. He looks to shoot. Is forced off by a defender. And then moves it back down to Gels. IU patiently looking to attack. 5 seconds on the shot clock now. IU has to get a shot away. Hahn is wrapped up by a number of defenders, and Miami, Ohio gets it first stand on defense, and a big one at that. So they will look to clear and get a chance to finally have possession on the offensive side of the field. But the Indiana ride proves to be too much for Miami to deal with, and they give the ball right back to the Hoosiers. And so when it finally looked like Miami might have a chance to get an offensive possession, the Hoosiers' ride does not allow that to happen. So Indiana already leading by 4 with 5 minutes gone. Gets another quick shot away from a cutting Krumzik in the middle. Save is made. And a great clear from Miami. Finally getting on to IU's side of the field. Miami working on offense. Getting harassed by a number of IU defenders. Their first chance of a shot on goal, and they put one in. Jimmy Ryan was the one to finish off the goal for Miami, getting their first score of the afternoon and cutting into this early IU lead. So on their first offensive possession of the day, they're able to convert in a much-needed way. Dexheimer back in the circle for the Hoosiers, and they love this little play. They get LSM Zach Stouffer to go pick up the ground ball. They did that all weekend at Pittsburgh. It's proven to be really effective for Indiana. And so after they give up their first goal of the afternoon, they look to answer. Richie Fleming backing his man down. Gels from X trying to find a cutter. Fleming again up top. Passes it off quickly to Hawkins, who shoots a low shot, but a save is made. And then another quick shot away, and we get a flag. Play continues, so it's going to be on Miami. IU looking to take advantage. As Fleming trying to find a shot, instead throws a pass away into traffic, so we will finally get a stoppage, and that penalty flag will be enforced. And so we will get our first man-up situation of the day. Indiana will have another opportunity to add on their already sizable lead in this first quarter. 7:19 remains in this opening frame. With the Hoosiers leading 4-1. They look to add on one more. And a quick opportunity comes to nothing as Miami able to deal with Indiana's pressure for the moment. But the Hoosiers pick up the ground ball and look to attack on the man up. Krumzik in the middle, gets a shot, sneaks it over the keeper, and buries the goal, his second of the afternoon. So after Miami, Ohio finally got their goal and seem to have a little bit of momentum working for them. The Hoosiers come back, draw a penalty, and then score again. They have been successful on most of their trips today. 5-1 is the score. So another face-off upcoming. One of the Indiana players moved early on the face-off, so Miami will get the ball. They are 1 for 1 on possessions to goals, but they've only had one possession. So Miami, Ohio looking to attack. Charlie Whittier moving it over. Whittier using a screen from Wilkinson. Gives it off to his screener. And now Miami working from X. Forced out. We'll have to restart. Good defense by the Hoosiers. Not allowing anything inside at the moment, but here comes a shot from up top, right into the stick of Patrick Kenny, who corrals the save. And now he will look to clear. He loves to run around outside of his cage. And then he finds Connell Barton, who launches one up to Logan Gels on the far side of the field. So Indiana gets a stop and transitions to offense. Jake Trumbull holding on to it with his red stick. Now going to work from X is the big man Trumbull. Finds George Hahn. Then one more pass to Fleming, trying to get a shot away, low to high, goes wide, and goes out of play.
Out of play.
Logan Gels was closest, so Indiana will retain possession. Now he works from X, trying to get a quick shot on, trying to sneak it by short post. It's deflected out. So Trumbull and company will have to restart. Indiana has dominated possession today and are dominating the scoreline as well. 5-1 here in the late stages of the first quarter. Looking for another. Krumzik looking for Trumbull in the middle. Pass goes too far. Picked back up by Indiana. And George Hahn. Passed away to Fleming. He's getting harassed by the large defender. Hunter Purdue was all over that one. And finally they break in. Indiana adding one more to their total, making it 6-1 in the first. So a prolific scoring team, Indiana, who has scored 13 goals in every single one of their games this year, has already started exceptionally well in this first quarter. They're on pace for a football score at this rate with 6 goals in the first. A Miami, Ohio player is down on the field. We're going to get a quick break from the referee.
Come on, buddy.
A little bit shaken up on the play. Leo Rothenberg will head to the sideline for the Red Hawks. But Miami will have a chance to cut into the Indiana lead with possession. Owen Dorsey now. Moving it down to goal line extended. Indiana spreading out their defense. Now working downhill. Miami takes a quick shot over the back and out of play. Never really a chance to get that one on frame. Patrick Kenny organizing the defense, telling him what he wants to do. Miami starting to attack. Dorsey with it. Questionable pass. Picked back up by O'Reilly. He takes a bounce shot. Can't quite get the angle to go on frame, so it goes back out. Miami will start from X. Fletcher Brown moving it to Whittier. And a shot and a goal. That was an absolute ripper. Miami, Ohio gets its second of the day. The offense hasn't been the problem. It's been getting possession if you're a Red Hawks fan. And winning faceoffs. Indiana defense not that happy. Had a quick chat organized by leader Connell Barton. So 6-2 with 2:18 left to go in the first quarter. Face-off upcoming. Won by Dexheimer. He's been excellent from the dot. Launches it back to Kenny, who runs around and finds Barton flipping the field. Moves it up to Streepy and then forward to Gels. So Indiana and Steve Krumzik holding on to it now. Steve organizing the offense, moves it to Trumbull. And now Hawkins at GLE. Gels containing. Back up top to Krumzik, who looks to go downhill. Driving down the left alley. Spins. Passes it off to Hawkins, then gives him a screen. Pass back to the middle. The Trumbull tries to sneak it by. Save is made. A good play from the Hoosiers, but Trumbull couldn't quite finish it off. So Miami, an opportunity to move to offense. They do get the ride. Avoid the ride from Indiana. So Miami looking to attack. Pass to Fletcher. Then to Whittier. Now back up top. Streepy all over him, forces a turnover. Ground ball picked up by Fleming. A chase ensues. Fleming gets it across the midline and then moves it forward. Quickly on for Logan Gels, who sneaks it 5-hole and in. Logan Gels makes it 7-2 as time expires in the first quarter. And they will put 2 seconds back on the game clock as Gels gets his hat trick in the first quarter. So Indiana, 7 goals in 15 minutes. And a quick, long shot off the face-off is handled easily by Patrick Kenny. So the Hoosiers go into the first break with a 5-goal lead. here in Bloomington. When they take a break, we'll take a quick one as well here at Hoosiers Lax TV. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Hoosiers Lax TV as we get ready for the second quarter here in Bloomington. After one, IU leads 7-2 over Miami, Ohio. And even without Carson Fry or Colin Callahan, it's been the offense that has showed up today. 7 goals in 15 minutes. It's been an impressive performance. Already a hat trick from freshman Logan Gels as the second quarter opens up. And another face-off win. Dexheimer's been crucial to this start. They have dominated the possession battle today, and Coach Balick will be incredibly happy with that. He always says, win possession, win games. He loves when his team can win face-offs, and they have very well today. So Trumbull moving it down, trying to start it early. Jump shot taken by Grant Hawkins over the towering defender who deflected out of play. Hunter Purdue, looking like Purdue big man Zach Edey on this field. He's got at least a foot on every attacker for IU, but has not been able to help his defense so far.
No blockage.
Hahn quickly moving it to Krumzik inside. Can't quite handle the pass. Too many defenders in the area. So Miami will clear. And it's the big man Purdue who reaches up to grab it. Passing off to Davis. And then his pass taken away. And now Hawkins on the near sideline. The senior leader. Up to Krumzik, who's got a collection of fans. And then passes it off to Hawkins. Back up to Krumzik. And Fleming. Hahn tried to sneak inside behind a couple defenders, but couldn't handle the pass. And so another turnover here in the early part of the second. The offense hasn't been quite as smooth early, but Logan Gels, too much pressure, forced the Miami, Ohio defender out of bounds, so they will take over once again. Miami, Ohio had 2 consecutive stops and looked like they would go to offense. But unforced error really gives IU the ball back, and Krumzik lines up and fires right to the midsection of the goalie. An easy save. But too much pressure once again from Indiana. Now a ground ball comes to Miami, Ohio. The Indiana fans are letting Miami hear it. Home opener. Expect a good crowd, and we have one today. Lively on this Saturday afternoon. Miami down 5, trying to find any way to cut into the lead. And that's not going to help. A quick turnover as IU gets it right back. Zach Stouffer with the long pull. Fires the bounce shot and scores it. And a timeout is called. Eight to 2. Already in the second quarter. 11:16 to go. IU really happy with how they've played so far. And when you can get your LSM involved in scoring, you know things are going well, and it's been the case for the Indiana offense. Trying to remain undefeated and get their first home win of the year in their home opener and stay undefeated and open up conference play with a win. Miami has got to answer some of the questions about how they can have more time of possession. It has been all IU with the ball. It starts with face-offs. Indiana has dominated from the circle. Finn Dexheimer has really showed out today.
34 minutes left in the battery.
So after the timeout, the teams will head back onto the field. IU comfortable where they are at in this ball game. As they have their largest lead of the day, up 8 to 2. And another face-off. For Dexheimer. Finally, Miami can win one. And they will look to move to offense. Whittier starting it for the Redhawks. And then an unforced error. A pass that goes nowhere near his intended target. Gives Indiana the ball right back. In a game where you're struggling to get possession, giving free passes away is not going to help you. It's been a struggle for Miami here today. Hahn with the quick shot. That goes wide. Logan Gels back to retrieve. The freshman already has a hat trick in this first half, leading all scoring totals today. So Indiana moving it around the outside. Krumzik back to Hahn. Trying to find an angle to shoot or for some ball movement. Richie Fleming now. Hawkins cutting inside. Back to Krumzik. Spins. Looking for a shot, and it comes from Hawkins low to high. It's deflected off of a stick. Never made it to the cage. Some communication about whether the shot clock should reset or not.
Oh yeah, because he was trying to be clever. He was trying to go
Indiana will keep the ball, and it will be Fleming who starts with it.
Oh yeah, because my junior year was shot basically every single one. He was always
Hawkins to Krumzik. 10 seconds now on the shot clock, and a low one is easily saved. Logan Gels didn't really have the angle to get his fourth. So Miami now will attempt to clear. The Indiana ride has caused a couple turnovers, but are unsuccessful this time as Miami flips the field. So the Red Hawks looking for their first goal of this second quarter. They take a quick shot, but Kenny got a piece of it and deflected it out of bounds. Miami now looking to attack again. A shot. Kenny, another save, an athletic one at that. The Red Hawks still maintaining possession, putting together a quality couple of seconds here on this one. So Miami once more trying to find any way to come back in this game. Ooh, a late hit at the end of that play as Phelps was cutting into the middle. He got harassed on the way in and after he got right around the crease. Awaiting a call from the officials on whether that was a penalty. No flag was thrown. They do call a violation, so Miami will keep it. Down 6. Plenty of time left to play. We're only in the first half. 7 minutes remain in the second quarter. Miami has got to put together a couple of goals and stops if they want to come back. And that's a start as they sneak one in. Getting their third goal of the day. The Red Hawks bring the lead back down to 5 for Indiana. So 8-3 now with 7:30 remaining in this first half. Another face-off. Fought hard by Dexheimer, who lays out on the ground to go get it. He finally wins it and picks up the ground ball. Excellent job to use his body to keep the Red Hawks away from the ground ball. So Indiana can start their offense. Up 5. Krumzik organizing. Fleming from X. Then Hawkins. Trumbull in the middle. Pass given to Trumbull. Steps in to shoot. Opts to give it to Krumzik. IU will back up and restart. Krumzik Fires, shot too high. A good little duo there from the pair of sophomores. Trying to get the defense moving. And now it's Fleming. Crumsick gives it off to Hawkins, the senior. Lost the ball, but picks it right back up. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Trumbull takes a bouncer, and it goes high and over everyone. So they got to get a shot and get one quickly. With the clock winding down, tries to go behind the head. Hawkins looking for a BTB shot there, couldn't quite get it to the net. And so Miami will pick it up. Trying to clear. A couple of hits laid on Soriano. Oh, but then a flag is thrown. Soriano, after he lost it, wasn't too happy and got a technical. So it's one thing to give up the ball, then it's another to cost your team even more. A frustration penalty there for Aiden Soriano. IU will go a man up. The Red Hawks a man down after Soriano's penalty. IU 1 for 1 on their man up today. Have been successful all year long. Fleming right on the doorstep, can't handle the pass. Comes back to Hawkins. Fleming still there in the middle. Hahn was wide open, wasn't quite ready for it. Picked back up by Indiana. Deflection. Forces a ground ball. Fleming. Back up to Legrette. And then Crumsick. The man up is over. As Soriano comes racing onto the field. And then Fleming right in the line of fire, shoots it on net, but save is made. And now Miami can clear. But another errant pass for the Red Hawks. Gives the Indiana side the ball right back. So every time they get a stop, it seems they turn it over. I mean, they cannot have more than 5 minutes of possession in this game. With just 4 minutes remaining in the first half. IU has gone scoreless for the last couple of minutes. A couple of stops from the Red Hawks as Hahn shoots one wide. Hawkins starting it for the Hoosiers. Then Trumbull up top to Logan Gels. Fired once again wide. Hawkins for Indiana. Gels gets a screen. Passes it off to his freshman running mate, George Hahn. Hahn spins, gets smacked a couple of times, gets a shot away. But it's shot that just never really had any power on it. Legrette wins the ground ball and picks it right back up for Indiana. Passes it over the head of Hawkins and it goes out of bounds. Logan Legrette upset with himself. Could have been a good opportunity for Indiana. Instead, it will go to Miami. Michael Veith for the Red Hawks. working downhill. Firing it behind the net. Passed all the way up top, and a shot taken and buried. Don't look now. Miami with a little bit of momentum, back to only a 4-goal lead for Indiana. Plenty of time left. Timeout is taken with 2:20 left to play in this first half. As they take a break, we'll take one as well here at Hoosiers Lax TV. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a minute. So we're back for more action here in Bloomington on the McNutt Fields. Indiana leads 8-4 with 2:20 remaining in the first half as Dexheimer gets hit on the faceoff. The push is going to give the ball to IU after they called timeout. Indiana has been pretty dominant here today, but have gone scoreless in this later part of the first half. And have lost a little bit of their momentum from the first quarter, where they had 6 goals, but still lead by 4. Hahn up top, gives it to Hawkins. Finds Gels, who just throws it behind the back, bounces over the cage. Comes to Fleming. Back to Hahn, who looks to shoot, fires, save made. A good look from Hahn, but handled well from the goalie. A long pass, looking to clear. Now Miami with a chance to captivate some of the momentum they have. What was once seemed like a game was about over at 8-2. But with 2 consecutive goals, they've made it a reasonable score line before they go into half. And another one here could really propel them to potentially making a comeback. Miami and Whittier. Passing it down behind. Patrick Kenny. Trying to work it up top. Pass comes back up to the middle of the field, and then a shot is made. IU picks it back, is able to pick it back up. As 6 seconds remain in this first half. So that will do it. we go to the break with a scoreline of 8-4 in favor of IU. We will be back for the second half in about 15 minutes here in Bloomington. Don't go anywhere. This is Hoosiers Lax TV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Hoosiers Lax TV. After one half of play, Indiana leads Miami, Ohio 8-4. It was a red-hot start for the Hoosiers, who scored 6 goals in the first quarter. Logan Gels has lit up the scoreboard with a hat trick already in the first half. And for Miami, it's just been a struggle getting possession. Finn Dexheimer has dominated the face-off circle for Indiana and has helped them exponentially today. But towards the end of that first half, it was the Redhawks who tacked on a couple goals to keep this game within reach, as it could have gotten quite ugly had it gone the other way. We're in for a good second half as we get ready for the opening face-off. Dexheimer wins another one and then moves it to offense. Quickly, Hahn finds his man right in front, but he stepped in the crease. Garrett Whipple was the one who just came too close. And so Miami will attempt to clear. They do get it over the midline and can try to keep some of that momentum from the end of the second quarter. Instead, they throw it right away. It's been a lot of turnovers and really sloppy play for Miami that has forced them to lose possession throughout this game. That is not the type of play they're going to have to be able to come back in this one. Logan Clay couldn't quite handle the pass, and now we're going to get a penalty flag. Krumzik is arguing his case to the official. It seems like it's going to be an offside call, but Indiana did not agree with the ruling. So the official call, I don't know if, I think they just picked up the flag and they're going to let them restart. No, the penalty will be on Miami, Ohio, as Logan Clay will go serve the penalty. And Indiana goes a man up. They're 1 for 2 today in the man up situation. Miami, Ohio was able to hold off on the last one. And Legrette just has to bat it away to keep it in the field of play. And then quickly a shot on is just wide for Steve Krumzik. Still looking for the first goal of the second half, 2 minutes in. George Hahn gives it to Hawkins. Player release from the penalty box. Then Richie Fleming was cutting right across the middle and had an opportunity to catch a pass on the doorstep, but the pass was too far behind. So Miami took it away and then quickly moved to offense, and a quick flag is called. An offside call, it seems like. So an opportunity for Miami to potentially cut into the deficit and go a man up. And another flag flies. So multiple penalties on IU will be upcoming. But for now, they're able to take it away. So the officials will have another discussion, as this day has gotten a little colder, I think, as we've gone on. The wind's picked up here in Bloomington. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little cold myself. My cameraman also is without a jacket, so struggling through today. We apologize for any shakiness on the camera if he's inadequate due to his hands being cold. So still a long discussion. We've had not a lot of lacrosse played in these last 10 minutes, but quite a few rules discussions. And so now they will dole out the sentence, which is IU goes a man down, no, 2 men down. So a big opportunity for Miami, Ohio. Down 4, but 2-man up right now. They need anything to jumpstart their offense, which has been stagnant today. Whittier, back down, right in front of the net. Jimmy Ryan can't finish it, but then Charlie Whittier was right there and was able to finish it off. Kenny thought he had the ball. But instead, Miami, Ohio gets their 3rd straight. So they are looking to mount a comeback.
Hold that right down the middle. It's a little chilly out. I wasn't prepared here.
So Miami, Ohio cutting into the Indiana lead. Now just trails by 3. As we'll get another face-off. Dexheimer can't quite win this one. Rothenberg does for the Red Hawks. Miami, Ohio trying to pull off a major comeback. They've got plenty of time to do it. Still over 11 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter here in Bloomington. IU looking to remain undefeated. That was a nice tip pass by Gavin Miller. Forces Miami to restart on offense. He then defends. Miami now starting from X. Looking to attack. Spinning. Then he's wrapped up, and a ground ball comes away. Held on to by the Hoosiers. Krumzik with it now for Indiana. They have gone scoreless in these first 4.5 minutes of the second half. What once seemed to be a net the size of a soccer that has seemed to turn more into a basketball hoop. So they're having a tough time sneaking anything by the goalie right now. Pass into the middle, an opportunity, shot on and a save made. George Hahn was the one who put it on net. But now Miami is able to clear it and takes possession back. But an errant pass goes out of bounds behind the Indiana cage, giving the Hoosiers the ball right back. So the Indiana offense has not performed to its first half capabilities. But fortunately for Indiana, the Redhawks had continued to turn the ball over and can't finish any goals themselves. And finally they get one. George Hahn
Seems like a lid on the hoop.
takes the lid off the hoop. The freshman attacker gets another one for the Hoosiers in their first half, or their first goal in the second half, excuse me. And taking the lead back up to 4. Might be the start the Hoosiers need to get their offense going once again. And Dexheimer wins a faceoff cleanly. And now Hawkins looks to attack. But then a poor pass from the senior leads to a ground ball that gets scooped up by Miami, Ohio. It was Tate Veneklausen who wrapped it up for Miami, Ohio. And now they're awaiting the correct personnel to get their offense started. Michael Veith tries to fire a shot on it, gets deflected and comes to Connell Barton, who goes off to the races, finds Hawkins. Then Gilbert, but Gilbert's pass is too wide. A lot of frustration for IU right now in the attacking third of the field. It's been a bit of a sloppy second half for both these teams, as Miami clears it cleanly. So first half that was dominated by IU, not only in scoreline and in possession, has kind of flipped in this second half. The Hoosiers have struggled to maintain possession. A violation by Miami gives Indiana the ball back. So unforced errors have been the story of the game for the Redhawks. Steve Krumzik now trying to work quickly. Gives it to Hahn. Looking for Krumzik, back cutting in the middle instead. Gives it to Hawkins. Now Krumzik finds it. Can't fire it away and instead turns it over. And then a pass sends the Miami, Ohio midfielder spinning around and falling over. It is picked up by Fletcher Brown, who looks to shoot, fires and shoots one wide. And Patrick Kenny gets out of his cage and wins the race. And then wanted to get going, but he's forced back by the official, who now whistles it back in play. Barton's pass nearly picked off. Bounces a couple of times and comes to Logan Gels. Hawkins looking to restart for IU. Krumzik up top. Waiting patiently. Just moving it around the outside. Behind the net now. Pass gets away from Krumzik, but then he goes to regain it. Then to Trumbull. Tries to fire it across the field, and it's deflected out. IU has just not been the same offense we've seen all year. And what we saw in the first half. Miami turns it over once again. They have just not been clean with the ball in possession. So IU gets another chance to add on to their lead. With 5 minutes left in the third. Fleming. Indiana content to move it around the outside and await more options. Trying to move without the ball now. Another long pass is deflected. But Logan Gels gets to a ground ball and picks it back up for Indiana. Now Hawkins behind the net. Passing off to Hahn. Looks to give it back to Grant Hawkins, but a pass too high is taken away by Miami as they moved offense. Now trying to work quickly in transition. Pass stick down by Gavin Miller, who picks it back up and then rolls it over to Patrick Kenny, who looks to escape the pressure. Launched to the other side of the field. And then Barton moves it forward. An efficient clear from Indiana. As time wind downs in the third. IU leads by 4 in their opening conference matchup with Miami, Ohio. Here in Bloomington. And a bounce shot on, save made. Trumbull still looking for a way to really get involved in his first game of the year.
It's the Jets.
But as Miami looks to move offense, they turn it over. Another errant pass for the Redhawks. Now Gavin Miller and the Hoosiers will clear. He escapes one attacker, but then is stick down from behind, picks it right back up and gives it to his offense. So Indiana now trying to attack. Krumzik up top, takes a shot and scores it. Sophomore Steve Krumzik with another one. So IU breaks into double digits on the afternoon.
On pace for the average of 13 goals a game.
As they lead by 5 with under 3 to go in the third. Face off.
A little push in the back.
A flag at the end of the play of the face-off. It seemed like there was going to be a violation, but then a flag was thrown as Dexheimer might have gotten a little too aggressive on that face-off. This is a 1-minute penalty for Indiana. The Redhawks have struggled on offense, and this might be the push they need to get something going. And a quick shot, just right from the top, off the rip, no pass. Goes over the net. Miami moving quickly. In the man up. Trying to get an open shot. Now coming from X. Sneaking around. Passed up top and a shot and a goal. Aiden Soriano gets another one. His second of the day. So right when IU gets their first goal of the second half, Miami, Ohio answers and keeps the Redhawks within striking distance. Dexheimer released from his sentence in the penalty box. Then goes and wins a face-off. And now Hawkins and IU will look to answer to the last goal by Aiden Soriano and the Redhawks. Krumzik, who had IU's last goal and their first goal, second goal of the second half, fires it now. One goes off the post. Comes back to the stick of Logan Legret. He circles around, tries to squeeze off a shot, but with defenders all over him, he doesn't get it anywhere near the cage. And it goes out of bounds. IU was closest, so they will keep possession. Krumzik's pass couldn't quite find Fleming, who thought he had it, but tried to make a move towards the net. And then a long pass from Miami comes to a ground ball, and Indiana picks it right back up and clears quickly. Great pass from Patrick Kenny from his own net. Under a minute to go in the third. IU leading by 4, and they take another shot, trying to sneak it 5-hole. Good save is made. And Miami will clear. Indiana riding heavily, forces a ground ball. George Hahn picks it back up with numbers now. Logan Gell spins. Trying to look for Zach Stouffer in the middle. The LSM already has 1 on the day. But the ground ball comes to Miami. And 3 seconds now. They got to work quickly if they want a shot. And just launched. And that ends the third quarter. So we'll take a quick break as well as we go to the break. IU leading 10-6. And welcome back to this fourth quarter of action as IU wins the opening draw, but then gives it up, throwing it out of bounds. After 3, the Hoosiers lead 10-6 over the Redhawks. It was a high-scoring first half for Indiana. It's been a little bit less so in this second half as the big Hunter Purdue holds off his man and launches it forward. But then Indiana picks it right back up. Garrett Whipple gives it to Logan Gels on the Indiana side. And now Krumzik and Trumbull will prance onto the field. Richie Fleming behind the cage.
Oh, fakes it. Oh.
Can't quite get it out of his stick. Then he does. Pass goes a little bit wide of George Hahn. Trumbull passes it across to Gels, who takes a shot and rips it wide. If he would have got that on net, I think it would have gone in. Good ball movement from Indiana, who have gotten ample opportunities to score today. Krumzik starting it up top, looking for any other Hoosier available. Comes back to Krumzik. Indiana just moving it. Multiple Hoosiers in the vicinity of that pass, but it was deflected, comes all the way out. Trumbull picks it up, and then a quick fire by Krumzik is saved. So Indiana offense with a little bit of life to start this fourth quarter. But Miami, Ohio comes up big and makes a couple of key interventions to keep it a 4-goal game as they look to mount the comeback on this Saturday afternoon. Indiana trying to remain undefeated in this 2024 spring season. They have playoff aspirations. They were oh so close last year. Just barely came up short against Purdue in their final game. Speaking of the Boilermakers, the IU women's club lacrosse team played earlier this morning and defeated that other school from Indiana a score of 8-7 on their senior day. So congratulations to the Lady Hoosiers. As a save is made by Patrick Kenny, who escapes and looks to clear. He fires a long pass up to Steve Krumzik, who just chests it to himself. And now Krumzik and Indiana will try to open up the scoring in this fourth quarter. Not that they care about averages, but they do need 3 goals to keep their streak of scoring 13 goals in every game this year. I'm sure Coach Balick would love to see that. As Krumzik fires, save is made. But then a questionable pass from the goalie and then picked right back up from Hawkins, and he scores.
Over Zach Eden.
Ben Farrington is pleading his case to the official that he was in the crease. But George Hahn, who was just right outside, just put his stick up in hopes that Farrington would make a poor decision, and he did. And then Hawkins was there to finish off the easy work. As Indiana takes their lead back up to 5.
A little early start on, a little false start on
The false start on the face-off gives Miami the ball and a chance to answer Hawkins' most recent goal. Not a ton of time for them to make their comeback and avoid going 1-5 on the year. Ground ball. Fought 4-1 by Miami. And Phelps. And he takes a shot and a save made by Kenny. Now looks for more options. The speedy Garrett Whipple moves it over to Hawkins, instructing his team to move quickly. Has Richie Fleming, who lines up and fires, and he scores.
One away from that average, man.
2 back-to-back quick goals for Indiana. Might just be what they needed to really close out this game. Still plenty of time, 10 minutes, but the Redhawks need to double their total as they're down 6. Indiana starting to get comfortable in this fourth quarter. And Exheimer wins another draw, does a nice swimmer move, and then loses the ball. The Indiana sideline was begging for a penalty to be called. No flag flies. So we will stay even as Hawkins and Krumzik look to begin the offensive set. Quickly move back to Hawkins, who gets it and scores. Oh, but it's whistled. It is whistled down. He was in the crease. He tried to avoid staying out of it, so no goal for Grant Hawkins. And we remain at 12-6 on the scoreline, as Miami is able to clear it over the midline and moves quickly. Play resumes after the ball went out of bounds. Miami looking to attack. A quick shot is deflected high and away, picked back up by the Redhawks. Brendan Garvey now spins, passes it across the middle. Can't quite deal with the pass, and Gavin Miller then wins the ground ball for Indiana, looking for Krumzik, but it's deflected. Another ground ball comes to Connell Barton, who does good work to hold on to it. George Hahn gives it to Steve Krumzik.
Hoosiers look to kill time on the clock.
And now Legrette will pass it off to Trumbull. Hahn behind the net. As the Hoosiers just passing it around outside. Trumbull finds Senior Hawkins, who then looks for Legrette right on the doorstep, but he is hit twice by multiple Miami defenders and then loses the ball. So an impressive defensive stand for the Redhawks. The pass then picked up. Well, then Stouffer smacks it away and gives IU possession. Grant Gilbert then gives it off to Hawkins. Just 7 minutes separate Indiana and its 6th win of the year as they're up by 6 goals here in the fourth quarter. Krumzik fires, bounce shot, scores. Another one for sophomore Steve Krumzik. He has had an excellent day. Getting IU to 13 on the afternoon.
I am not, no.
So we will get
30, yeah. Let me text the group chat. You want me to put your number?
another face-off. With under 7 to go here in the fourth, IU leads by 7.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah.
It wasn't always easy today for the Hoosiers, but they should have no problem closing this one out. A little bit different than both of the games last weekend, which were separated by just a goal or two in those final couple of minutes. The Hoosiers will be grateful for a comfortable victory. And they win another faceoff and begin on offense. IU content to just move it around outside as they're up 7 goals with 6:20 remaining. Krumzik finds Trumbull. He takes a shot and it's saved by Farrington. And then Miami clears quickly. And now they will await the correct omittees to begin on offense. The Redhawks moving downhill. Spinning. Stick knocked out of his hand. Garrett Whipple forces the turnover. And then Connell Barton picks it up for Indiana. Grant Hawkins looks to set up. Krumzik and Legret come on for Indiana. Krumzik with it now up top. Gives it to Legret. Pass now behind the cage. Fleming to Hawkins. Krumzik directing traffic. Then to Hawkins. Looks in. Fleming in the middle from his knees, and he scores! IU catching fire late in the fourth. They now lead by 8, their largest lead of the afternoon.
Are you driving right now?
14 to 6.
Yeah, can you call him? He's a really good kid. Yeah.
Just 4 minutes and 30 seconds
I'll just text it to you. Call him individually.
left on their Saturday afternoon game here in Bloomington. Their home opener looks like it'll be a victory. As a penalty flag flies and Patrick Kenny launches a ball all the way down the field. Logan Gels then picks it up and draws another penalty as he was hit from behind. Play is whistled dead. Officials will have a discussion about the extent of the penalties, but I would assume Indiana goes 2-man up for at least 30 seconds. Indeed they will. So IU with a chance to add on to their already large lead here in the fourth quarter. They've scored 3 goals in quick succession from a variety of sources. All of the offense has gotten involved today. And another chance to keep showcasing their ability. Fleming cutting inside, sneaks it over and in. And another goal for Richie Fleming, 2 back-to-back. As IU goes up 9. So this looks like it will be an excellent win for Indiana in their first conference matchup and first home game of this spring season, in which they have been quite successful. Violation on Miami gives Indiana the ball back.
There we go.
With 3:30 to go. Just a couple of possessions away from victory.
3 minutes remaining here.
Indiana behind the cage. Now Hawkins holding on to it. Some new faces for the Hoosiers. Peter Faust on the field, along with Brady Nix. And Faust takes a shot right into the midsection of a defender in front of him. An illegal screen on Miami as they tried to get out of there. Gives the Hoosiers the ball back. So Faust with it, then passes it down below the crease to Aaron Hart. And now Hawkins, low to high, shot saved, but he can't hold on. Gives up a rebound, and IU holds on to it. Hawkins then just tries to shovel it towards the net. Can't get it anywhere near the cage. Goes all the way out of bounds, and Gels will have to go retrieve it. Just 2 minutes now on the game clock. Hawkins, right behind the net. Tries to fight through defenders, can't do so, loses the ball, and it's picked up by the goalie. Farrington just passes it off to his long pole. He gets it right back. Now Miami looks to clear. Fletcher Brown attacking, passes it off, fires high and over the net. 1:18 left on the fourth quarter game clock. Ball comes out of bounds and possession goes back to Indiana. Kenny comes all the way out of his goal and on the offensive side of the field. His sideline giving him a little bit of trouble. They want him to take a shot up 9 with just a minute to go. I don't think Coach Balick would have liked that too much. So instead he just passed it off. Krumzik up top for the Hoosiers. He's been the source of a lot of offense today. Him and Gels as well. And now Trumbull in his first game back. Krumzik back to Fleming.
score. Rub it
Good movement for the Hoosiers. Trumbull winds up and fires. Save made. With no defenders in front of him, Jake Trumbull wanted to put a little bit better of a shot on. Hit his helmet in frustration. And that is going to do it. Here in Bloomington, IU remains undefeated through 6 games and win their home opener against Miami, who falls to 1-5 on the spring season. Thank you for everyone who tuned in for Hoosiers Lax TV. I'm Nick Abel. Have a good rest of your weekend and good afternoon, good night.